Really, Jerry? This is the same guy that needed his own personal handler to keep him out of trouble during the early part of his career. You'd think that Jerry would have learned after dealing with Terrell Owens, but apparently not. Between guys like Dez and Odell Beckham Jr., it's time to ask an important question. Mike, read between the lines. Are diva wide receivers worth the headache?
You can scratch diva. I don't know a wide receiver that isn't a headache in terms of they want the ball. I mean, all of them, whether they're great and we read about them or whether they're not great and we don't read about them, they want the ball, they want to score points, they want to catch. They're all that way. It's very difficult to find receivers that are of the mindset of a typical offensive lineman who just come to work and do their job. That's not the case. And I think we tend to blow this up because those guys are more out in front. But I think every team has a diva receiver, maybe one, maybe two, maybe three.
What about, let's take diva out of it then, clown show receivers. Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, Odell Beckham. You don't win with these guys. It's
the organizational's job to be able to control the message that comes out from your players. That's the most important. Was Chad Johnson a problem in New England? Other than he couldn't catch?
He couldn't, yeah, that's a big problem.
Okay,
that's a big
but
problem.
in terms of the emotional outburst, he wasn't. So I think it's the organizational job. I mean, Jerry has a unique set of rules. I worked for Al Davis. They're kind of similar to Al's rules. You know, there's one rule for Dez. There's other rules for other guys. So you get that. Odell Beckham, I think if Wellington Mara were still alive and he watched the performance what Odell Beckham did on TV, I don't think it would have ever happened again. I think it would have been handled. And I think the message has to come down from the top. You just can't. Look, they're young kids. You know, we all have kids. They behave differently. You got to educate them on what they have to do. And I think it's the job of the organization. I think we blame the players to a degree, but I also think we got to make sure that they handle it well.
I want to get to my Whitlock words of wisdom, Mike. This is when I explain. This is something you can learn from.
This is what everybody waits for every day.
Something you can learn from.
Okay.
All right. The key to moving forward is getting out of your own way.
That is so true.
That is Odell Beckham Jr.'s problem. He can't get out of his own way. Last night, that taunting penalty put them in a jam, basically took them off the field. He sees himself as this victim. He doesn't understand he has the power to control what happens to him with his own behavior.
Look, Ben McAdoo has the power to control what goes on the field. And if he saw that behavior and he allowed it to happen, there's two things that happen in coaching. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it to happen. And Ben McAdoo was allowing it to happen.
Mike Lombardi words.
There's a little wisdom for you. He's allowing it to happen.
McAdoo's come down on him, though. What are you saying? He should bench him?
Did he take him off the field?
So you're saying he should bench Odell Beckham?
If you don't, look, I'll go back to the statement. You're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. So you're allowing it to happen. All those words he tells us in the media, they're meaningless. It's what happens in the room. Send a message to the players. What you do when you do that is you tell all the other players it's okay. If I'm going to tolerate that, then you're going to tolerate that from other things. Ben McAdoo has to step up and say, hey, look, I'm not going to tolerate. Get over there. Stand over there. We don't need you. This is a team sport. He just played against a bunch of team. The Minnesota Vikings, a team. He's not going to beat him with an individual. Stand next to me for a while until you calm down.
Here we go, Mike Lombardi.